up, everybody? All right, today's the day. It's the dyno day. So got to prep the truck for the dyno. I'm going to be taking the dyno doesn't want me to have these wide 315/70 or 315/75 16s on the truck, so we're going to put stock size wheels and tires. I got a set of stock tires with some like OBS Ford Alcoa wheels I'm going to throw on there. Change the oil, just go over everything, check all the bolts, and then we'll be heading to the dyno. So here's those tires and wheels I was talking about on my scrap pile here. So not bad. Definitely can use some work. I plan on, after I'm done with them, I'll polish them up and sell them, but they'll get the job done today. Well, as it turns out, I only have, so the truck shows 74,000 on here, but anyways, I changed the oil at 74,080, so I only have 300 miles on this oil, and maybe a handful of rip. I'm thinking I'll probably just leave it and not change it. I know it's not having any oil pressure problems now with this new oil I'm running, so I mean, there's probably only like 3 or 4 wide open throttle pulls on this oil change. So I think I'm gonna gamble it and just not change it. I don't want to waste, you know, $100 oil change or $70 oil change for no reason, but I don't know, we'll see. You guys, I want to do a quick overview for anybody that's new before we get going here. So we got a early 90s EFI 460, 7.5 liter Ford, factory EFI, custom homemade fuel rails, 80-pound Deca injectors. The whole fuel system, it's an Aeromotive 450 liter per hour pump, all custom made by me. For ignition, we have a cam angle sensor, so distributor deleted out of there with the sensor, and we're running LS coils. So we can get a better look here. Fully sequential with LS coils. VS Racing S480 turbo, billet wheel 80 millimeter with a 96 millimeter hot side. Everything was done by me. Hot side, all built by me. Water methanol injection. I have an AEM 1000cc nozzle right here. VS Racing blow-off valve. It has 2 VS Racing 60 millimeter wastegates. Right now she's on little dinky tires and wheels, but that's just for the dyno. My 35s were a little too large. 4-inch downpipe, all the way back 4-inch. So that's just a quick overview. EFI Systems Mega Squirt, Mega Squirt 3. It's a Pimp XS kit from Stinger Performance. It's a fully sequential fuel and spark. I'm very happy with the system. I have electronic boost controller. Yeah, Motion Raceworks sensors. Yeah, she's a ripper. Saginaw power steering conversion, 3G alternator, all the stuff you want on your 460 Ford. It's definitely a work truck though, not a show truck, and we're about to make some power. All right, boys, heading to the dyno. Pretty darn excited. I kind of fumbled up the tune a little bit. I forgot to smooth out my fuel map for my last drive, so I kind of did quick on the fly, but I'm running late, so I don't know. Hopefully the dyno operator doesn't judge me too hard, but there's a little bit of, it's a little messy. All right, guys, we're at the dyno. Did my first couple pulls. My hands are shaking, but it did good. So those are the first 2 pulls. 605, 737. I pulled 2 degrees on the second one, and it made a little bit less power, but about the same, but it's also been sitting here idling, so yeah, 737 foot-pound of torque and over 600 wheel horsepower. Just killing it. I did a couple more pulls. We're just dialing in the timing right now, but it's looking good. We're set at 13 PSI, so just working on and just making sure everything's looking good. Fuel's looking good, but we're 13 and a half PSI the whole time. It's making about 730 horsepower or 730 foot-pound of torque and 605 horsepower at the wheel.
Now, ideally, the only change we should see is that top end.
Okay.
So
looks like my clutch is holding.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. same. So
very consistent.
yeah, that's one thing. That's why dyno's nice. This thing reads really consistently.
Holy cow.
So what I would do is I would probably, from that 4,500 up mark, I would add 10. Okay. So go to like 205. And look at your data log. Let me know what it says, like as far as your boost levels change.
Okay. So I would be at 17 degrees roughly.
7? How many?
17.
Yeah, that's pretty.
18 at the very top.
Yeah, that's a little spicy. So
I came in with it +2 up there. So this is saying 198's 14.2. So that would be 16, 17.
So now what I would do is I would go to your boost table. That's quite a bit of timing.
Hard to do.
Yeah. So
I haven't done a whole lot with that one yet. So I had it at 196 on 3,000 on before.
So what I would do is take it from 4,500 to 5,500, and I would add like 5 to that, 195. So what that's going to do is, the idea is when you tune a truck is you don't want to drop off the higher RPMs or tune any vehicle. So what that's going to do is it's going to give you a little more boost from here forward, so that way your power curve flattens out towards the red line. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Ready? Ready.
Carry it out a little further.
Whew. Okay, for that long. It's nerve-wracking.
It always is your first few times.
I still have the boost turned down from when I came in. Okay, I'm ready. Go for it.
How I had you do this before?
Oh yeah.
All this torque here, this torque's about the same.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, more torque down here, and your horsepower carries out a little further. I would say from 4,500 up, you can probably add 2 degrees. What's your timing at 4,500 at 13 CSI? It didn't drop off as harsh on that bottom line.
Yeah.
That bold line. So that's pretty good right there.
Yeah,
your torque's a little flatter. So what we'll do is I'll overlay this with your first base pull, and we'll see how things correlate.
All right, boys. Just got done at the dyno. Good day. Real freaking good day. So we made over 600 wheel. I'll show the dyno my printout and about 750 foot-pound of torque at the tires. So we're looking 800 flywheel horsepower at 13 psi. We pulled timing out of it. It made power, so we left it on the safe side for me, ripping around on the street and not beating the hell out of it. So we're doing really well, and I believe it's a safe, reliable tune.
Guys, so here's the last, I believe this is the last pull I did. I raised my rev limiter, so I had my rev limiter set at 5250, and I really don't know how high I can rev it, but I bumped that up to 5500 because I was hitting soft rev limit at 5,000 RPM, which was kind of I wanted to rev it out a little higher, but we can do that next time. So we're at 13, pretty steady 13, 14 psi across the board here as it builds boost. Air fuel ratios are all within like a percent or so, 1%, 1.4, 2% there. So it's not too far off. I'm going to go through and smooth it out some more and get the fueling a little bit better dialed. I got to do a little bit of smoothing on the ignition. So we made good power. This is one of the printouts. This is close to the end where we ended for a safe pump gas level on the tune. I just didn't rev it as high as I could have. So still, you know, I plan on taking it back and getting it on the dyno again after I make a few adjustments.
So there you have it. Truck got on the dyno today, made over 600 wheel, 600 horsepower, over almost 750 foot-pound of torque. That's on 92 octane. It's a very safe pump gas tune. We had pulled some timing out in basically everywhere. I had too much timing in it. In the mid-range, we pulled about 4 degrees, and everywhere else we pulled about 2 degrees. Under 3,000, 3,200 RPM, I gained about 40 horsepower and more torque just by pulling some timing out of it. So I had too much in it. But this is a safe pump gas tune. We made over 600 throughout the tuning process, but then we backed it down to about like 605 is where we ended, I believe. So that is a safe go thrash and beat on it hardcore every time. We did multiple dyno runs, run after another. Never shut the truck off. It was pretty hot. Intake temps were well over 100 degrees, and it was just repeatable. 600 horsepower to the tire. Very, very, very repeatable. So I'm happy with this. I think at some point I'll probably go to E85 and tune it up some more. I know that I only had it at 13 PSI throughout this session, so I can turn it up some more, but I mean, much over 600 horsepower to the tire. I don't know how well that's gonna do on the street. It's already having a hard time getting traction, and I'm not racing it, so I think I'm just gonna enjoy it for a bit. Smooth out the fueling a little bit more and just have fun and take it for a rip. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey, wanted to add, I forgot to clarify. So all of these horsepower torque numbers are at the tire, not at the flywheel. So that's going through a ZF5 manual transmission, a Borg Warner 1356 transfer case, 1-ton axles, 456 gears with a Detroit locker. So quite a bit of rolling resistance. I don't know how much exactly we would calculate loss at, but I'm thinking that it's making 700, 800 horsepower flywheel. It's definitely healthy and right on track with where I wanted it to be. I have room to grow. I can definitely turn it up. I don't know how comfortable I am with turning it up on pump gas. I'd like E85 just for my extra insurance, and then throw it on the dyno and see what it does. I got to give a huge shout out to Michael at Apex Performance and Fabrication out of Marysville, Washington. Those guys are awesome. Michael is amazing to work with. The guy helped me so much, like way above what I ever expected. So if you are in the Pacific Northwest and you need some dyno service or tuning service, he gave me a ton of pointers. The dude was so helpful. 100% worth the money. Absolutely, like absolutely any day of the week. He tunes standalone systems. Megasquirt isn't his favorite, but it's not really a lot of people's favorite anyways. My next build I plan on using Holley, so I figure Terminator X system is kind of something I'm looking at. So I'm happy with the Megasquirt. I'm not going to replace it with a Holley. I'm going to keep the Megasquirt on this truck, but my next build will probably be a Holley system, probably the Terminator X multi-point fuel injection kit. But anyways, those dudes that dude at Apex Performance and Fabrication is awesome. His titanium welding is off the charts. I'll put a link in the description with his Facebook page, but hit him up. His rates are amazing. They're reasonable. Don't argue with him about his rates. They're awesome. Like, trust me, I've researched it and I've looked around. His rates are fantastic. So good dude, helped me a ton. Was willing to show me, like, I've never used a dyno before, so he walked me through how to operate it so I could do the tuning myself, and then he gave me pointers on the tune. I mean, the dude's awesome. Good people. So anyways, thanks to everybody for watching. Please subscribe and like the channel, and there should be some future content coming out here soon. And I'm going to be looking at getting something else going, something that I can race. I want to take something out to the track. There's a few different things that I want to do. I'd love an autocross Bronco. I want something I can take to the drag strip. So yeah, stay tuned.
Woo!